We are ready to go. Now we're talking about school, everybody.
Yeah, school. It's that time again. That time again.
Congratulations. You're talking. Is your sister going to be subbed in too? You said K-5 all the way to 12th grade?
My sister-in-law, Angie, is going to teach, be a floating sub in a small town.
Yeah, that's neat.
K through 12, yeah. Well, we'll keep it interesting, if you survive.
Oh, it's all good. Good karma. It's like the music, everything is good, happy stuff, and pass it out there. And I know you've influenced many youth with your music through your time. I mean, music, when I just sub, and when music brings out such the arts in the kids and the adults and, later in life. And you hear the stories when they were young.
Food for the soul. Bring back music in schools again, please. Music, arts, everything. Yeah. I think we suffer when we don't have it. It certainly got me through, school. I don't know what I would have done. If I hadn't had that, I would have, who knows, might have been a renegade.
Well, you've been a punk rocker then, you'd be really hitting it hard.
Yeah, but it was still music. I mean, I was a harmless punk rocker, I mean, I was a musical person. I was a happy punk rocker. I'm looking at my poster right now in my music room here.
Did you have spike hair?
I wasn't. Yeah, and I cut it myself too.
Do you remember the band Shut Up Marie? I think you do. Shut Up Marie were L.A. too, because a friend of mine, Annie B. in the Milwaukee area, was in Shut Up Marie back in the 80s.
Yeah, but I was in New York.
You were in New York?
In 1980s. Yeah, in the early 80s. I was in New York. Yeah, that was interesting because we got done with our second album, 1994's second album, and New Wave was coming in, and you can hear it in our second album, Please Stand By. We're getting a little techno, and bringing it in, and I went back to New York when the album was done, where I lived, and I was at the Ritz, which is a huge theater, a giant disco with upstairs, downstairs, wraparound loge. And, it was just a very cool place. And we were just hanging around there, and I was looking down at the dance floor. I'd just gotten into town, really. And I'm looking down at the dance floor, and everybody was dressed, in the current new wave look, completely different. I felt absolutely Squaresville. I'm wearing bootcut jeans. I had my hair wasn't real long, but it was just the former look, and style. I know it's kind of corny, but I went out the very next day and I had somebody come cut my hair off. Cut my hair. I sewed all my jeans by hand, sewed them tight, and threw away remember I told you I used to go out and buy boots?
Yeah.
I dumped them all. I think I wish I had saved them because they were absolutely exquisite, and I should have, but I was so disgusted. I dumped them. I got rid of them, and I went out and got tennis shoes and low spiky heels from the 60s. I just completely changed my style overnight because I was just disgusted. That was it. Yeah, and we had a little problem too. Yeah, it was an epiphany. I had fun.
I love it.
I have to be different.
I love it.
And it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And New York at that time was not quite as wild as it had been, as was what was really going on just before I got back. But it was still really, really stimulating and creative. And, of course, New York is that way. Well, I don't know if it still is musically, but it sure was then. It goes back and forth. It's not always the hot spot. I was there in 2015. I couldn't find a live original band. It was kind of a bummer.
Was that back in the 70s? Was it that Studio 54? Was that those days too in New York?
Studio 54 was before the punk rock thing. I don't think Studio 54 was still open in 1980. Anybody can call in and correct me, but that wasn't the hip thing. That was the 70s,
Yeah.
That was just the more glitz thing. Glitzy, hard to describe. It's hard to describe. The 80s turned into the new wave punk era.
Gotcha.
At least that's how I read it. That's how I saw it. I really don't think Studio 54 was going on. More like the, CBGBs and, oh my God, there was another place we just loved to go to. Oh man, it was free to get in, and that always mattered because then I didn't have a record deal, so I was kind of looking around on the ground for money, which is easy to find in New York City. Probably scrape about $5 off the ground in about 2 blocks. Oh. Just stuff that's people's wallets are just so willy-nilly. People don't drive, so they walk.
Gotcha.
And now it's really cool. When I was there in 2015, people talking on their phones, right? They're FaceTiming with their friends, so you can look and see who they're talking to. They walk down the street laughing, and it's pretty funny.
Isn't that something? Like, with people with their cell phones?
It was really a trip.
When you see people with their cell phones and they're like, or like when you do a selfie, everybody's got their hello, and then else, and they go back to this grouchy look or whatever.
Yeah, I did that. I went out to this bar. I was there by myself for 7 days in 2015. It just ended up that I was by myself, and I was going around to all my places, my local haunts, my previous haunts, and I ended up at this bar on the west side, like 9th, and in the days when I was there, it was Hell's Kitchen. That wasn't a place to be at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Alone. In fact, we shot our video over there. It was like, but anyway, because it was so dark and creepy, it was a pretty dangerous place. Well, it's gentrified, and I went over there. I had seen it when I went to a grocery store or something, because that's where I was staying in Midtown. So on my way home, alone, you're walking. I had, 10 blocks to go. And so I pulled my phone out, and I carried on a very vibrant conversation. Like I told the guy, next time I see him, I'm going to pull a gun on that guy. I just acted like a aggressive,
just
person. Like, don't mess with me, man. You don't want this. You don't want this. Okay? Let me tell you.
Oh my God.
You don't want to confront this. All right? Anyway, it was pretty funny. It's my little self-defense thing.
You were doing that in New York.
It's not the first time I've done it either.
Late at night, so people think you're stay away from me because
They think, stay away from me. I am badass. You do not want to cross my path.
Do you want to know something?
I am your worst nightmare and your last mistake.
That is hilarious.
All 5'4",
Karen Lawrence. You're gonna my time in New York.
What are you gonna play after that? What song are you gonna play for that?
We got if I had it all wrong, that would be great.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's right on time.
Cocky.
But I got to tell you quickly.
Being cocky. That's the way I am. Yeah, go ahead.
I got to tell you quickly. I did almost the same thing. One of my times in New York, I went to a place called the Supper Club. Do you remember where the Supper Club was on 43rd Street?
No.
Anyways,
but I know 43rd and what?
Pete Townsend
43rd
played.
And what?
I don't know if it was 43rd, but Pete Townsend played there. And it was an exclusive deal in '96. He played once in the Fillmore out west and then twice in New York. And it was like when he started playing again, there were like only 800 people there.
Yeah, all right.
And I was there for 2 nights. And I stayed at the hostel by the UN. So I was walking home at 4 in the morning. Yeah, 4 in the morning by myself with an umbrella, acting like I was a hard ass with my umbrella. I am not even kidding you. I was by myself. And I'm walking in New York, and I'm all alone, and I'm like, oh, my God, I better look, because I talk to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of my good thing, but it cannot be. I don't know. And there was 2 clubs going. One had a bouncer guy out in the front. I mean, and the other one was like, I'm like, and I went in one of them, and like, oh, my God. So I went to the other one, looked better. It was like the mob. But it was
and that's before it got cleaned up by the mayor, was it Bloom?
Yeah.
He cleaned it up with the soda. He changed 42nd Street into BB King's is there. It's a tourist attraction. You go buy makeup on that street. It's weird. I mean, it's fine. I think it's fine. I think 42nd. Oh, that was my other one. Yeah. I got off on a red eye, which is a midnight flight from L.A. to New York. I apparently had no money, but I looked good. Mm-hmm. I took a bus, I guess, to the Greyhound station. I do not remember the bus trip. I don't. But I remember that I was there at Penn Station. I think that's 34th Street or something, 39th or something, over on the west side. And it was pouring rain. That means in New York City, you are not going to get a cab because everybody's got the cabs. And so this is, I arrived, I don't know. I mean, it was nighttime. I don't know what flight I came in on. I think it was 9 o'clock at night. And I'm supposed to meet my friends uptown in the 80s on the east side, like up Fifth Avenue. So I had to cross town to at least get a cab that was going in the direction I needed to go, going up. Because if I flag a cab and they're going downtown, they're going to just close their window and drive on. They won't even pay attention. So I've got 2 bags, huge suitcases. This is before wheels. Huge suitcases, a gigantic traveling purse. And I am just a sitting duck, just because it's a flight thing. You got your purse in there and books. And in the days before Kindle, I traveled with about 5 different books, depending on, so I'd have my mood or whatever. Anyway, so I am loaded down. Absolutely. I can't even get this one suitcase off the ground. I can't get it off the ground. I can get it maybe an inch. And I have to cross town, so I cross on 42nd Street because it's the only lit street, and this was when it was really bad, total XXX things the whole way, a street I never would have walked on in daytime when I lived there. Anyway, so I'm crossing this thing, and I look fabulous. I've got on my beautiful traveling outfit because I always like to have like a really nice outfit when I'm traveling. I don't know, it's very 1950s, very my mom of New York. My mom lived in New York. Anyway, so I always like to look really nice, and I've got this gorgeous luggage and from the old days, and I'm crossing 42nd Street in rain, no umbrella, carrying these bags with this giant bag, and I'm just twitching my face, all around, and kind of mumbling to myself like I'm an absolute lunatic. Like, yeah, I told him, believe me, I told him, I'm not teasing you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming. I'm coming. I just can't. Isn't that crazy? Oh, my God.
That's the
best.
It's
hysterical. I've done things like that. But, that's what you got to do. What am I supposed to do? Have to rely on the kindness of strangers.
Well, now you can Uber it. Now you could have made an Uber.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so different now.
You could have Uber it.
Well,
you don't know
I don't know. I just...
There'd
now
be
I
no
would,
fun.
42nd
There'd be no
safe now.
I don't even know if that supper club was on 42nd. But anyways, the whole